ladies and gents, how are you doing? Welcome to the BBC Spews Live. Please tell me the audio's working because I'm having a massive pain up the arse with it. Is it working? Someone tell me. Jennifer, you're the first one that popped up. Is it working? Oh yeah, I forgot there's like a 30-second delay, isn't there? Alright, so I'll just get started anyway. Welcome to BBC Spews Live. Hang on, where's me, I changed my banner again. Let's have a look. Which one do we like? Got that one, that's a bit big, innit? Got that one. We'll leave that one on because it's got the can bank on. Get in. Cans, we all like them, don't we? We love cans round these parts. And we love new members like Neil Smith. Well done, Neil. You are important to me now. Isn't that marvellous? Who's having a good weekend? It's all right so far, isn't it? I wasn't going to bother, but I wasn't going to bother doing one, but because I got free tickets to an air show in Santa Maria. The problem is, I still don't like this sound. Now I can't hear myself in my ears, and that's sort of irritating me. Let me see if I can fix it without totally destroying the whole thing. No, now I can hear myself twice. Don't like that either. Okay, I guess we'll just have to. Carry on. I'll have to soldier on. Whatever it is I've done to it, I can't hear my own voice coming back to me, and it sort of irritates me because I sound like I'm deaf. I can imagine this is what it feels like to be almost deaf. It's a bit weird. Here we are. It's monitor mix. Let me just do that. There. All right, that's better. Now lock it again. Bosh. Save that. Okay, that's better. I can actually hear something now. Yeah, so they're eating the cats, they're eating the swans, they're eating everything. You know what they're like? Absolutely mental. It's a crazy time to be alive, isn't it? I sound like Rob Brydon's Man in a Box. I have no idea the reference there, Man in a Box. Sit closer to the mic. How much louder do I need to make it? I'll tell you what, I'll put it at maximum. The problem is, there, I put up to 200 there. How's that? The problem is, there is a happy medium with doing this, because if you go too high, I've noticed it annoys the shit out of me when I'm editing. You can hear a constant in your background. So if you go too high, then it makes the back end sound bad. So if the rest of you can't hear it, I think you'll have to wind your neck in and suck it up, because that's as high as it goes as far as I'm aware, unless I stick a megaphone on the end, 1980s style. This is meant to be a good mic. This was like a $500 mic, this thing. Sure. But it's a pain up the arse. And I don't like it on the screen because it looks a bit weird, doesn't it? I suppose I can put it closer to my head. Is that all right? Yeah, all right. I guess I'll leave it there then. For now, I'll leave it there. I don't like it when you can see it right on the telly, though. I think it looks weird. Well, okay, it's all right, so who cares what the rest of you think, eh? Easy. It's probably Starlink being shit. No, it's definitely not Starlink being shit. It's impossible. Oh, actually, you know what you've reminded me of there? I just saved something to my... I just saved something from my work PC on my home one, because I want to put it on... I want to put it on my Twitter to make a point, because remember me telling you when that thick as shit left-wing wanker was on GB News? It does. This is why we're ruined as a society. And he was on GB News saying, oh, Elon Musk's an idiot. It's like, this is why the UK is a cesspit, because we demonise successful people. If you're good at something, we scorn and mock you. People who are actual doers, we don't like them. We like people like Angela Rayner. Oop, sorry. Let me find it. We like people like Angela Rayner.
You stupid bitch, you filthy slut!
Ah, I love the end bit because he's just going to give her a good pasting. We like people like that who point out how much more talented other people are and tear them down. But we don't like the actual go-getters. If Bill Gates was British, he'd be working in McDonald's. Elon Musk could be, I don't know, working behind a counter at at a Borough Stadium selling programs or some shit. It's ridiculous. The UK is an anti-meritocracy. That's what's going on here. So I don't know what else people think. Why they think tearing the betters down is a good idea. Christ, you're still moaning about the sound? All right, I'll have another look. I don't know how loud it needs to go. It sounds all right in my lug. Right, we'll have one more bash. I don't want to spend all stream doing this. Right, gain. Mic gain manual. There we are. Bosh. What's it at the moment? Plus 36 decibels. All right, that's 41 decibels. How's that sound? That all right? I'm not singing, if anyone... Definitely not doing that. I need 9 pints to get... get on the karaoke, me. Okay, still a bit quiet. Christ on a bike. Some of you must be blind. Are you in the artillery, Connor? Connor, were you an artilleryman by chance? It's still a bit quiet. Right, too loud now. Okay, sound is apart. I'm leaving it there. Kenny McDermott said it's fine. And Kenny only listens when he's had 12 pints of special brew. So if he can hear it, it's definitely good. All right? Easy. That's better, isn't it? All deaf twats in here. Yeah, you have got a volume. You know, you probably got me doing it and you haven't turned the volume up on your telly. So yeah, that's where we're at. It's crazy time to be alive, and the reason I'm talking about that is because I've got a photo to put up here. Where's my pictures? Snips. There we are. I thought today was going to be, when we launched today, it's going to be my 300 flight milestone. So Labour MPs say the world's richest man is much stupider than Diane Abacus, and all his rockets blow up. Well, I just hit 300 today. 300 successful launches today. And the company stock has quadrupled in 4 years. So don't throw stones in glass houses, thick twat. Don't know who that was. This is the world we're living in though. So there you go. They always explode. I hit 300 launches today. Almost all of them go up successfully, and the ones that blow up are test flights, which is how you get rockets to go up. Okay, that's what a test flight's for. Wish I could spell and type that fast. I'm not very good either. You should see my wife. She's like Johnny Five. You know how like Johnny Five reads a book? Input. She types like Johnny Five. I don't know if Johnny Six was a typist. That's what he'd be doing. So that's good, isn't it? Nearly 300 launches, 293 landings, 288 reflown rockets, 9 successful human spaceflight flight missions with no casualties, and 9 Starship test launches. So, what hypocrisy should we look at today? Remember this one again. This is hilarious, this. They literally, a massive gang of them, drove the death convoy through the middle of London. I know you lot have all seen it because I made a video about it, but look at that. There's 5 cars in convoy with flags all over them, foreign flags all over them, shouting, F the movement, F all of their mothers, F the daughters, surprise sex the daughters. All that, totally fine. Totally fine. Masked jihadis driving through the middle of London doing that. And no one got prosecuted. No one got prosecuted. And yet, the same government that didn't arrest anyone for that arrests 12,000 people a year in the UK for online speech. So you couldn't make it up, could you? I've just showed you the evidence of the ridiculous death convoy where nobody got charged with a crime. But Great Britain arrests 12,000 people a year for online speech. Again, I've told you, I know I'm preaching to the converted, but seriously, the UK is worse. The UK is now the progenitors, the creators of freedom of speech in the modern world is the British. That's not hyperbolic or, hubris. That's a proven fact. And everybody who pays attention knows it. They know about Locke and Hume and the founding fathers, and they know why Jefferson and Paine and Washington paid so much attention to those people, because they invented the concept of freedom of speech. And now the home of it, the mother of parliaments, is worse than China and Russia combined. Because, should we just ask an AI? I'll ask them, how many UK... Look at all the stuff I've asked it. How many bank holidays? How many black people die in police custody? Oh, should we read that? I think we can just segue into that. That might be interesting. Let's do this. Segue into it. Oh, no, it won't let me, will it? Fuck. BBC. See, they've ruined the BBC Spews. That's why I don't put that. That's why I don't put that overlope anymore, because they've ruined it. And again, I've told you before, give money to the BBC. You're having a bubble. You're having a bubble, ain't you? For whoever was asking about Cockney rhyming slang. You're having a bubble bath, ain't you? Give $8.99 a month to the BBC. You are having a bubble, aren't you? You're having a bubble. I'd rather send $8.99 a month to Ian Huntley to buy KY jelly when he's flinging himself around his cell all day. Yeah, definitely not happening. Definitely not happening. I can use a VPN, but doesn't that massively interfere with your connection? Because I have got a VPN. I pay for one. I pay for NordVPN. It's about $90 a year. But I'm concerned that if I connect to it, it'll bugger my stream up. Should we just have a go? Because, this isn't a professional broadcast. If it cuts me off momentarily, it's not really the end of the world, is it? I'll have a go. It's a good idea. Let me boot up NordVPN, see if this actually works. Connect to server UK. Let's see what happens. If it goes blank for 30 seconds, don't go anywhere. All right. It's on. Still there? Looks like you are. Now I'll refresh this. There we go. There we go. Why didn't I try that weeks ago? Hopefully it's still working. Apples and pears. There you go. Push me missus down the apples. There you go. Get yourself sponsored, Matt. I don't think I'm that famous. Although I told you I don't really do paid ones. I've been offered another one that I said I'd do because it was for a heart rate monitor. The only ones I take is exercise equipment, because I told you lot, I wish Maury has exercised. I don't want anyone to die. And also I want you to be able to do what I can do, which is successfully windmill on 35 Puma trackies in the middle of Linthorpe Road and walk away bloodied but unbowed after decking at least 30. So, yeah, that's why I want you to do some exercise. So I'll exercise. I'll do exercise products. So I might do a sponsorship next week. Oh no, I'm back in the borough. I'm not going back there. You have to kill me first. Honestly, I told you lot this. When I went back to the UK, it was unbelievable. When did we go back? I'm sure one of you lot knows. I think it was June. It was mental. Proper Baghdad, the borough. Borough is Baghdad, and Baghdad is the borough. Again, that was something my old fella told me years ago. I'm going to look for that one as well. Now I'm back on the BBC. Why does Middlesbrough have the most immigrants? It's a BBC story. I swear to God, this will amuse newer viewers. Look, True story. I don't make this shit up. Why does Middlesbrough have the most asylum seekers? Why do you think I've got a chip on my shoulder? Why do you think we hate Cockney wankers? Because they do it on purpose. Here it is. Bosh. Why does Middlesbrough have the most asylum seekers? Because the dirty, horrible, upper crust, middle class wankers from down south that run the country don't want any scrubbers from shitholes living near them. So they send them all to Middlesbrough. And they go, oh, what's the matter? Why are people in the northeast bigoted? Well, I'll tell you why, because my granddad just got bummed while he was walking the dog. That's why. There's nothing like a good Rogering to push you to the far right, is there? It's absolutely ridiculous. So, yeah, and that's why people get annoyed. Doing a voiceover. I apologise. I have got high blood pressure. I get very, very angry. But this is why. They do it on purpose. They send them up north on purpose. Because they're wankers. Because they don't like people like me and my family being happy. That's why. Because they don't want to live next to them. As if they want to have a Somalian living next door to them. They send them all up north, don't they? Everyone knows it. It's absolutely ridiculous. The borough's so bad, the pigeons fly upside down because there's now worth shitting on. It's a proper shithole. The only good thing about Middlesbrough is, as I've told people many times, growing up there is life enhancing. Because when you grow up in the borough and you deploy to Afghanistan or Iraq, you're pretty happy. You go, actually, it's not bad, this. The only place I've been to in the UK that has more hairy-ass foreign men living there is Brad Alabad. So, credit where it's due, Brad Alabad's worse than the borough. Bradford, for if you're an American, you've never heard, if you don't know what I'm talking about. Bradford is proper, like... It's the only place you go, right, in England, where you take off from the airport in England, and when you land in Benidorm, the tans aren't as good. That's what Bradford's like. It's unbelievable. Obviously, I'm marginally taking the piss here to the many outraged Cockneys in the chat. I know what London's like. I go to London every time I fly home. London's been conquered. I know that. But what I'm getting at is, before the conquering of London, like, it started with the North. Merkel did the same. In, like, the 80s. That's why Bradford's what it is. They didn't want them in the home counties. They looked after themselves. Now we're just flooded with them everywhere. Like, there's nowhere in the UK it's not full of them now. Even Newcastle's bad, isn't it? But back in the day, they sent them all to borough. And my old fella said this, and I thought he was being cynical, and he was right. Because when we invaded Iraq, and he went, you know, I rang him on the sat phone, and he was like, how's Iraq? And I was like, it's not bad, better than borough. And he went, yeah, well, that'll be that's why they're sending them all here. He said, because I guarantee you we'll be getting them all. And it's a truism. They sent them all up north because they didn't want them there. They're even going into places where they didn't used to be now. They're going into the Lake District, aren't they? And now they're all complaining and playing the race card in the Lake District. And they're even, and the one place, even in the noughties, there was no African tribesman with a bone through the lip in Cornwall. Devon and Cornwall. When I went to Devon and Cornwall from Borough, it was a revelation. I think that's one of the reasons why I love being a bootneck so much. Walking around Devon and Cornwall when you're born and raised in Middlesbrough is a revelation. Beautiful. Beautiful part of the world. Loads of fit surfer birds. I remember I loved when I was at Commando Logistics Regiment for a short amount of time, backfilling Med Squadron. We went into Croyd and Ilfracombe, little beaches down in the southwest. Absolutely beautiful. Like, for a borough lad walking around Ilfracombe, it's a revelation. You're like, wow, look at all these middle-class white people. And even that's gone now. Now it's just turning the whole nation into a shithole, aren't they? And that's why it's funny to talk about, because it's the only thing that keeps your morale up and having a sense of humour about it. The UK's been completely ruined. It's not hyperbolic to say so. Completely ruined. Like, I do not believe if you stopped 1,000 blokes in the street and said to them, is 2025 better than 1995? The only ones who'd say it's better, 2025 is better, are people under 30 who've been lied to and gaslit for a generation, because everything about it was better. The sense of community and everyone knowing each other and everyone looking the same and acting the same. I mean, that's the big deal. It's not even looking the same, not really. It's not really about race, is it? It's acting the same. When we get these blokes from third world countries who roast a goat in the front yard and shit in the street, it's horrible. It's horrible. You just want people to act like you. No one's got a massive problem with... You would occasionally see, like, a black person, occasionally, in, like, 1999. You know, very, very, very rarely. It was literally that white. People don't understand how white England was in 1999 because they've all been gaslit and lied to. And it's mad, innit? Because there's 650 people in the chat here. And they're still doing it now. The government, like, every single person in the world who's old enough to remember the 90s knows the truth. But the government still lie about it. And they just think, oh, if we just keep saying it every day, they'll believe it, won't they? And it's mad how they think that they can just get away with it. Look at that one. Is this guy? It's completely 100% natural and decent to be anti-fascist. Yeah, but none of the people you call a fascist are they? Harry, you absolute hornblower. Look at the clip of him as well. Look at this walking stereotype. Look at the clip of that scruffy twat. And he's a clinical nurse, specialist in addiction. So that's why he's got the stethoscope round his head, innit? Because he's trying to make himself look like a proper doctor. Specialist in addiction. Yeah, just because you were doing rails off your boyfriend's cock doesn't make you a specialist in addiction. He's got less medical training than I have, and I did a 2-week military medical assistant course. Combat first aid. I know more about first aid than this chopper. Scruffy twat. Look at the clip of him. If you look that dirty, you've got no place being in medicine, have you? I'd be like, are you having a laugh? If I was like waiting to do, I don't know, prostate exam or something, and he comes in, he's like, I've come to do your, I'd be like, here, go and have a good scrub. Go and have a good scrub, you scruffy little twat. I'll tell you what, I'll duct tape you to the front of my van, drive you through the car wash 4 or 5 times. Yeah? Sorry, we'll delouse you, put all your clothes in a boil wash, right? And then while that's going on, I'll run you through the car wash 4 or 5 times, strapped to the front of my van, and then I'll let you touch me ring piece. Because they just look rancid, don't they? All these pinko commies. I wouldn't let him touch me. Dirty bastard. There's no way he's a medical professional. No chance. I was telling Paz I was a trendsetter with this lot. I was a trendsetter. He said, the Puma trackies must be removed from office. Religious sectarianism has no play. It doesn't, does it? And he's there representing the UK with a Palestine thing and a kaffir around his neck. It's unbelievable. They're genuinely hateful people. It's the hypocrisy that annoys me. They are more hateful than anyone on the right. None of the reform voters is like boring milquetoast centre-right reform. But they are hateful. Every single one of them despises the 4B2s. A lot of them. They're just filled with hatred. And you know for a fact, I'm not even being hyperbolic, you know for a fact, if Rashida Tlaib and Ilhan Omar and all of the lot of them in the UK, old Shammy Beggs, no, not Shammy Beggs, Shammy Beggs was the terrorist one, they all look alike, Shammy, this one.
Some of it was fun.
Oh, my clip's not working.
Some of it was fun.
I wonder if going on the VPN... There you go. Well, there's a big delay there. I wonder if going on the VPN knackered it. Try again.
Some of it was fun.
Works. There we go. we're back in business. Yeah, it's a mad state of affairs, isn't it? These psychos are they're just filled with hatred and revulsion for the 4x2s in a way that, see, they think people like David, is it David Clues who I talk to? They think people like him are hateful towards the 4x2s. It's not even close. It's not even remotely close. These people despise them with a fury and a passion that only a fervent religious zealot can have. Like, I dislike devout Puma trackies, but I don't hate them with the all-consuming passion that they have for the 4x2s. Anyway, this is getting a bit depressing, and I've just seen another clip I like. Let's do a you do not know the way.
You do not know the way.
Yes, I do.
Do you know the way?
I know the way.
You have to have Ebola to know the way.
I have Ebola.
He doesn't know the way.
To know the way,
To know the
you
way.
need to have it.
Good, that, innit? I still don't fully understand where that meme came from, but I like it. Moi, Mr. Bootneck, you make me think I'm having a pint with you, lol. Yeah, sadly, you can't get pissed off words, but I recommend binge drinking while watching the stream. It can be pleasurable. So, was the volume proper loud on them clips, was it? I told you I've still got some kinks to work out. So anyway, yeah, it's mad to me how these people get to call everybody else hateful. After that convoy that drove through the middle of London, they're the ones calling people hateful. You really couldn't make it up, could you? If they didn't have double standards, they'd have no standards at all. The mind-melting hypocrisy of the insane, mentally ill wokists staggers me to this day. And again, it's been a journey. Everyone who's been a long-term viewer knows, like, this is the crack. Like, I was never right-wing. I've took 10 steps right in the last 5 years. It's just the way the world is. People like me and Paz have took like 5-10 steps to the right, haven't we? Because they made us. They talk about who radicalised you. You did. Real life did. Point I've made loads of times. They all have a pop at Tony Romo. He didn't radicalise anyone. Seeing Rudu Kanubu knife a load of little girls in the face radicalised 10,000 more people than anything any bloke says. Because that's life, isn't it? You don't really care what people say, you watch what they do. And mass murderous children, if that doesn't affect you, there's something wrong with you, isn't there? Again, they call us names. If seeing those little girls' faces doesn't fill you with fury, I don't think you're human. You know, I wear my heart on my sleeve. I'm Northern. I'm one of them Northern, trained from birth to tell you what I think and be a bit of a gobshite. My old fella was the same, I told you he didn't even go to my granddad's funeral. He never liked him. He was that type of bloke. Never slagged him off in front of me. But he never went. He was like, don't like him. I was like, okay. So he just sat in the pub. We went, and then we came back afterwards, and we had a drink. But he wouldn't go, because he went, yeah, he's a wanker. Treated your mum like a slave, him. Never slagged him off when he was alive, to his credit. But he wouldn't lie. We're honest people. And we try and tell them what we feel, and they don't listen to us, do they? They just make it up in their head. They say, you're a fascist and a racist. And I say, what do you mean? Like, I've never done anything that suggests that. Never been in trouble with the law. Best mate in primary school was Indian. What do you mean? And they go, la, 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 racist, racist, racist. Like, they always, and then this is why I've joked about it so many times. Everything that goes wrong with the world, the only people it takes by surprise are the people in power. All the plumbers and the bricklayers and the window cleaners and the bus drivers and the plasterers know what's going on. And they do it here. And we tell them again and again and again and again and again. And we go, yeah, well, we're happy to tell you. And they just go, la, 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 la. And then when it kicks off, big style, they go, whoa, why is this happening? Like, they will not listen. They're willfully ignorant. We tell them all the time. Sorry, super chats. Case of Armin Samata in Teesside. Everything wrong with the UK. Please look it up. Happy to do that. Let's have a bash. Hey, here we go. Right, let's do this one. Like doing tips from the super chats. Child abductor jailed after hotel tip-off. As you can see, very swarthy Englishman there. He's an Englishman who fell asleep in Tang Fastic at on Linthorpe Road. Yeah, he had 8 bottles of Bucky, went to Tang Fastic, fell asleep, pissed, woke up 9 hours later, transformed into a Puma trackie. Easy. A manipulative man who abducted 2 teenage girls and tried to book them into a hotel was jailed. Armin Samata picked up 13 and 15-year-olds in Middlesbrough, but aroused the suspicions of hotel staff when he tried to get a room for them. The 31-year-old from Newcastle was found guilty of 2 counts of child abduction. Jailing him for what? What? Is there a... There must be some gasps on here. There must be some gasps on here. Is there a gasp? Let me just check the sound effects. Media assets. What have we got? Intense applause, bongos, laughs. There must be a gasp. That is unbelievable. It's unbelievable. I can't get over it. 18 months. Hang on. More super chats. What political scale test do you use? Love to compare my odds. We'll have to do that after this. Sadwings. Teesside Live article, not BBC. All right, hang on. Armin Samata, Teesside Live. I mean, is this going to be any different? Probably the same story, isn't it? The funniest thing about the Teesside Live one is my mate and his sister share them with me all the time. Like, I've got my best mate and his sister. We sort of have a similar sense of humour. They always send me stuff like... whenever it's a Borough news story, I always laugh because it's stuff like... Borough doesn't do normal headlines. If you look at the, like, BBC, it'll say something like, drug-addled man assaults security guard. But when you go on Teesside Live, it says, baghead with a chair leg batters a geezer. Like, it's proper, like, they put, like, chavvy sounding slang in the headlines because, you know, they're northern and they think, you know, they don't want to sound like a posh southern newsreader. So we'll see if this is any different. There he is. Yeah, Armin. Persistently tried to book a room with the underage girls. Taken them to a hotel but was unable to book a room. The 3 were later found in a nearby McDonald's. Samata of Greenford Road, Newcastle, appeared at Teesside Crown Court. He'd been convicted of offences following a trial. He met the girls in Middlesbrough Town Centre. They told the defendant their age. He called them babies. Yeah. So, following in the teachings of the diddler prophet that they all love, he was like, babies? Nice one. I mean, if you're going to marry a 7-year-old, just like the man that they worship and revere more than any other, why wouldn't they all be diddlers, eh? Again, like I told you, you spread these facts and you get in trouble for it if you live in the UK. It's a fact. The bloke they worship, they call him the perfect man, was like, hey fellas, bum a 9-year-old. Jesus never said that, did he? No. For all his flaws, I'm not really a devout Christian or anything, but Jesus said things like, if someone slaps you on the left cheek, offer them your right. He didn't go, 9-year-olds, bum them. That's what. So don't tell me that they're as likely to be a diddler as an agnostic fella from South Shields, because you know it's bollocks. You know it's bollocks. If the man you worship more than any other is a full-blown diddler, are you going to have any qualms about being a full-blown diddler? I don't think so. Sorry, ranting. Let's carry on. He attempted to book... I've been zooming in a bit so you can read it for yourself. He tried to book over the phone when he was refused with cash. Then he was persistent and they found him in a McDonald's. When he was arrested, he was found in possession of cannabis. He'd been with the girls for 5 hours. He had 11 previous convictions for 17 offences, including for violence. The defender said there was no coercion. He lives an uneventful life and is on universal credit. Of course he's on universal credit. How much do you get on universal credit, by the way? Because that's going to annoy me. He shouldn't have 2 pennies to scratch his arse with. He's hoping to undertake a plumbing course. No, he won't. And his immigration status is clear for him to be able to do that. Ludicrous. He's also on medication for you were right. Yeah, this story is better. This is unbelievable. The BBC cuts a lot of these details out, don't they? Because they don't want you to know. So let's get this right. Let's get this right. We've got an illegal immigrant, schizophrenic, mentally ill, kiddie fiddler, dolly, druggie. This is what we've got. And the UK government went, give him a visa. It's unbelievable. Imagine if I went, I'm from like the first world and I can read and write. Imagine if I went into my immigration interview in America and they went, okay, so you've been with, we don't know, you've only been with this last for 6 years. We don't know if we can give you a visa. Do you want to tell us anything else about yourself? Yeah, I'm a schizophrenic, mentally ill, drug addict, kiddie fiddler. You couldn't make it up, could you? British government go, schizophrenic, mentally ill, drug addict, kiddie fiddler. Zoomf, there's your passport, son. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable. Let's have a look. So this bloke is just a human toilet. He said he knew the girls were vulnerable and he's a high risk to children. 18 months. That is unbelievable. That's unbelievable. And he's been arrested. You know, we were talking about how they said there was going to be change after that young lass died in America. Said there's going to be change and they're going to get violent criminals off the street. This mentally ill, drug addict, sex offender diddler, schizo, nearly forgot that. Mentally ill, drug addict, schizo, sex offender diddler. He's got 11 previous convictions for 17 offences, including for violence. So he's got 11 previous convictions, including for violence, and he's going to be in prison for about 5 months. 5 months. Do the taxpayers a favour and get out old Sparky. All right? Old Sparky, you're up, son. Batter's up. Frazzle his nutsack. I want his plums fizzing and exploding in the bag. We need rid of people like this. There is no use to them at all. No use to them at all. Absolutely shocking. Mental, that, innit? Mental. Does it get any better? Does it get any better? Blah, blah, blah. First of all, thank the member of staff. Oh, and they do this as well. Cleveland Police. We want to thank brave victims, specially trained officers. Suck my stump, Sean. Detective Constable Sean Shitbag. No use to anyone. Probably noshing him off round the back. Oh, please don't give him a long sentence, Mr. Judge. What a load of bollocks. I'd like to thank the 2 girls involved. There we go. See, I didn't even read it. I knew it was going to be in there. Bravery or yeah, there we go. Operation Make Safe, which takes place in Cleveland, allows specially trained officers. Again, they all work off the same sheet, don't they? Specially trained officers. What, you just got dragged down an alley and gorilla fucked by 20 blokes? Don't worry. We've got specially trained officers. Oh, no, nice one, cheers. Got a fanny like a yawning hippopotamus, and you think she's going to be buzzing because you've got some specially trained officers. You're having a laugh, aren't you? How aren't people rioting in the streets daily? It's unbelievable. It's beyond horrific. 17 offences, 11 times this bloke's been nicked. And they're just letting him do as he pleases. This thing's come off in my lug. All right. I've got an itchy ear. Green Mile, don't dampen the sponge. Yeah, we don't want to help him shuffle off, do we? That's unbelievable, that. Turok Forever's become a YouTube channel member. Get in. Welcome, Turok. I love your channel picture, by the way. Reminds me of the old Halloween turnip. I always tell the Americans that when it's Halloween out here. I was like, you do realise back in the north we used to carve turnips. A lot of them don't believe me. They're like, turnips? I was like, yeah, it's well hard carving a turnip. My mum used to have a sweat on. You need like a team of lumberjacks to carve a turnip. Pumpkins is well easy. Real men carve turnips. I don't think pumpkins became a thing in the UK until like the sort of late noughties, did they? I think I'd ever seen a pumpkin in England till about 2009 or something. It's not a thing we do. Turnips look scarier as well. And then you put a bit of string through them and go around everyone's houses, essentially mugging them. Yeah, massive pain up the arse, aren't they? So yeah, that's unbelievable. And then yatta, 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 blah, blah, blah. Specially trained. Finger your kids, specially trained. Don't care how well you've been trained. Don't care how well your training is if a diddler gets hold of anyone I'm related to. Well, the best pray they don't. Again, I'm sure I can't promote violence, and I never would, because I don't want to get anyone else in trouble. But I'll just say, right off the bat, I do find it cowardly that more of the people in the UK just allow this to happen. Because I swear down, as God is my witness, I am a furious, angry man with chips on both shoulders. And if my missus got one horsed into her by an illegal immigrant who'd been nicked 11 times, people would not be walking away from that situation. He would not make it to prison. I wouldn't have it. And people think, this is what I don't understand about genteel, easily led Southerners in Nottingham whose innocent family members get butchered like an animal by Aldo Kilcane, and then they all get up on a stage and say, oh, diversity is strength. Do you remember that? I don't know, Sadwings might not even know about that one. Because, let me have a look. Basically, what was mad about it was, this fella, Valdo Calacane, right? Sorry, even the image will make you laugh if you haven't seen his face. Sadwings. Look at this fella here. So, this creature killed a load of innocent young people. And one of them was an attractive woman. And it's always more tragic when it's an attractive woman, right? If it was like an old, fat, ginger bloke, yeah, that's tragedy. But when an attractive young woman catches it up, definitely worse. Anyway, I am only joking, please. Please don't cry if you do. I'm not serious very often. Look at the picture for this photo. Look at the picture. Like he walked into the Home Office and they went, get that man in a suit. We've just found our new project manager. Look at the clip of him. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. And we just go, yep, welcome him in. And then he comes in and he kills. Is there a picture of the victim? It's even worse. No, I guess there isn't. Oh, there we are. Look at that. Just ended these people. Two attractive young people, so tragedy. Slightly less of a tragedy, older man. I mean, I'm willing to I even think that about me. So look, at least I got to 40. Someone does me in, at least I got to 40. But to cut young lives down is the worst thing you can do. It's a monstrous atrocity. And I'm partially joking, but also being serious. Honestly, it's a silver lining I try to look for whenever anyone got killed in action when we were in Afghanistan. If they were a little on the older side, there's a lad called John Manuel who took me through my drives course when I was a bootneck. And he died when he was a little bit older. In fact, I'm going to look him up just so... Don't forget about him, do you? He was an older lad. Yeah, there he is, 2008. Took me through my drives course, bless him. He's a Geordie. There he is, just show you briefly, just so you dredging up the memories. John took me through my drives course and he was from North East. He did his training in 1989, so he was getting on a bit for a bootneck. And he was born 1970, died 2008. So getting on for a bootneck. And when he died, you know, I was a little bit sad because I knew him. And I was like, that's a shame. But I said to myself, at least it's all downhill after like 30. You know, I could tell myself at least 18 to 30. At least he had that. When really young people get killed, it is worse. It doesn't mean I'm cheapening, you know, it was half a joke. It doesn't mean I'm cheapening what happens to anyone. It doesn't matter if you're 80 and you get murdered butchered like an animal by an illegal immigrant. But when you're just a kid, like those two there, it's a monstrous atrocity. And I think that's why most people support the death penalty, capital punishment for them, because it is not acceptable that we have such disdain for the lives of the people that were ended, that they're not coming back. Grace and Barnaby and Ian have gone forever, and they didn't need to die. And all those little girls who Axel done in, they didn't need to die. If those people weren't welcomed in by the British government, they'd all still be alive. Those three people would all still be going to work and enriching people's lives and making them laugh and spending time with the family. But they're all dead now and they ain't coming back. And we traded them for, because he's still alive, this thing, this creature, this sloshing Portaloo of a man. That's why, again, I'm going to rant about it to finish up. That's why I've always told you lot that watch this channel, you don't let the left talk down to you. You never, ever, ever let them talk down to you. They are beneath you. They are lesser people because their cowardice and unwillingness to face the mirror, because they haven't got the guts to make a hard decision and deal with reality as it is. They'd rather create a comforting fantasy for themselves. And they don't understand conservative people want the best for people too. But we have the guts to face reality as we find it. And nobody conservative, Margaret Thatcher didn't want children to be hungry, but she knew you motivate the parents to do some work by getting them off welfare and making them reliant on the state. She knew that you make your life better by encouraging people to get out the house and get a job and educate their own children and spend time with their own children and teach your own children instead of outsourcing it to a bunch of faceless strangers for the state. Everything the left say they're doing is to be nice with a nice party. It's not, it's because they're cowards, and everything they do is the wrong thing if you want people to be happy. If I was in charge, all of those people would still be alive. All the victims of Southport and Brussels and Madrid and Beslan and Bataclan and Charlie Hebdo and Emily Jones and Lee Rigby and Borough Market and London Bridge would all still be alive, because I put a ring of steel round the borders of Europe, put a 2,000-mile fence in from the north of Finland all the way down to Turkey, and not let a soul in who didn't have double, triple background checks. And if you couldn't prove who you were, you ain't coming in. So who's the nice one? Me or them? The people that enabled the torture and murder of hundreds of thousands of innocent women and children? Or the people that would move heaven and earth to stop it? So don't let them talk down here. These people are not fit to lick your toenails. They are... I can't even put into words how much it's not that I hate them. It's that I despise the weakness. I'm a strong-willed man, and I really get made uncomfortable by like grown men crying, for example. If you need to shed some tears, I think you should do it in public, in a private place, not in public. I'm not scornful of men to cry. We have emotions, but I do think there's a way to do it, a time and a place. And I'm scornful of weak people. And the reason all this misery is taking place is because of weakness. Cowardice. Why was he here? No, have you noticed how it just doesn't tell you where he's from? What was he doing in Nottingham? Well, that doesn't tell us where he's from. He did a degree. Where's he actually from? Oh, there you go. Valdo Colacane was born in Guinea-Bissau. Guinea-Bissau. Oh, really? Guinea-Bissau. Brilliant immigrants from Guinea-Bissau. One of the biggest shitholes on planet Earth. I'm mega pleased with taking in people from Guinea-Bissau. And the other point is, and it's a fair point, what Guinea-Bissau got to do with us? It's one thing saying we have some sort of like colonial debt to places we ruled over like India, but what's Guinea-Bissau got to do with us? Less than jack shit. It's got to do with us. So this oxygen thief killed a load of women and innocent young people because the scum who talk down to you allow them to do it. And every single victim of the last 25 years is a result of the cowardice, the cringing cowardice of the left. And that's why you should never let them talk scornfully to you. Because if people with your will and my will were in charge of running the show, we'd have the guts to face the mirror and see the world as it is and do the right thing and safeguard the women and children of the United Kingdom from foreign invaders. It's disgraceful.